everybody, and welcome to the this week's episode of Staying Sane. This week, you just have me, Jay. My partner Hussein is traveling this week. He may or may not join us, depending on his availability and where he is, because he's out and about. So, it'll be a quick one today with just me. So, one of the main issues of the past week has been the inauguration of President Trump and the controversy that kicked off when at his inauguration, the bishop, and not at the inauguration, but I guess at the church service on the inauguration day, the one of the American bishops um, chastised is probably the wrong word, but this bishop pretty much laid into Trump with a Christian call to be charitable to those in need. And then of course Trump being the colossal douchebag that he is, basically shit all over her. And of course all of his brain dead mega halfwits who support him, who are by and large Christian, are shitting all over this bishop. Well, what does that show you about the fact that they want all the Christians talk about being persecuted, and then they turn around and the Christians persecute one of their own bishops in her church, giving out a Christian message of charity for the less fortunate. So it just goes to show you just how morally bankrupt the U.S. Christian right completely is, and just how hypocritical they are. Related to the inauguration of Bush, we see this resurgence of strong men around the world. We're seeing it in many countries in Europe. Trump obviously is a fan of these dictators around the world, and there's been a lot of pushback on Trump that people are seeing the rise of this others, right? That Trump is very much playing into these, us versus them. And then, of course, this week we had the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. So people are drawing a lot of comparisons to Germany in the 1930s to what's going on in the U.S. today, with this demonization of the other, with this fascination with strong men, with authoritarian regimes and dictatorships. So there's been some pretty serious calls coming out of the people, of reminders of what happened in Germany that led to the Auschwitz and the Holocaust. So people, should be careful. Obviously, the people who are watching this show pretty much tend to be open-minded free thinkers. The problem is, as we know, are the theists who, just subjugate their intellect, don't question authority, and just basically believe whatever they're spoon-fed. So it's up to us to stand up for the rights of the less fortunate, to advocate for universal human rights for everybody, regardless of whatever discrimination people are facing. It's up to people like us, the secular humanists, to fight for their rights. So that I guess pretty much the summary for this week. So we've got a lot of negativity going on in the U.S. right now under Trump. Those of us who are on the front lines of human rights need to continue to fight and vocally fight to maintain those human rights and ensure that people uh, don't have their rights taken away. We're already seeing in some of these red states in the US, like a lot of women have lost their reproductive freedom. That it's even been criminalized if they get pregnant. It's criminal for them to even go out of state for an abortion. So the US is, frankly, it's a shit show. So it's just a matter of time of, we have to get through the next 4 years, and all of us together have to do what we can to stand up for human rights and call out the bullshit when we see it, and not let our voices get drowned out by all of the idiocy that's going on in the US. So again, that's just my personal opinion. So it obviously doesn't reflect the organization or other people. It's just what I think. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Unfortunately, as I mentioned at the beginning, Hussein is traveling. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it or not, so it looks like he hasn't. So just a quick 5-minute roundup for this week. Next week and the week after, I'm going to be traveling, so I'm not sure if Hussein is planning to do a show or not. But if not, we'll be back in about three to 4 weeks when we're both back home. But in the next couple of weeks, we're both going to be on the road. So anyway, thanks everybody. Take care. Stay safe. It's Chinese New Year, so those of you who are from the Chinese culture, Gong Xi Fa Cai, Gong Ye Fa Choi, depending on whether you speak Cantonese or Mandarin. If you're traveling for Chinese New Year, please be safe. Anyway, take care, everybody, and we'll see everybody in the coming weeks. Take care and bye bye.